Hi, what's up everybody? My name is Scott, and this is the SpoilerCast episode 5, which is a cast about spoiling things. So, basically, I guess, oh goodness, if you don't want to know anything about Dishonored, then this might be spoiled already for you, because we're in a location which is very much not the beginning of the game. So, essentially, this is your chance to get out before I discuss the game in all of its many facets, essentially. Yeah, and I'm going to spoil the shit out of it. So, probably a good idea to get out of here right now. So, basically, the end of the game... Actually, let's read this note. That's very interesting. My microphone is a piece of shit. Get out of my lips. Right. Spoilers, my microphone is a terrible monstrosity. Come on, you could have jumped that. So basically, at the end of the game, not really at the end, more like 3/4 into the game, maybe halfway through. Oh shit. Okay, I forgot about these guys. I've just finished the game, or well, I finished it earlier. I played it before as well, so I think I probably should have known that this was coming. And I'm not very good at the game, also. I should probably state that now before we get into any more conversation. And also, take into consideration that... Oh goodness, I almost died. How many of those have I got? I have 0 of those. Okay, hopefully that is the microphone staying still, because it was not staying still, and that is terrible and annoying, and I really want to eat this rat. You know, the rats in the game are the things that are actually giving the disease to people, so it's maybe not a good idea to actually be eating the rats that are giving the disease. I can't remember. Actually, I can get a trophy if I do something, but anyway, almost in the middle of the game, you are betrayed by the people that you're working with. So basically, what the story of the game is that the Empress is killed, you're framed for her murder, but then are brought back by a group of resistance members who want to reinstate the daughter of the Empress into her rightful position as the Empress. But then you're betrayed by these people who want to influence the young girl so that they can bring their own form of government to this city, which is called Dunwall, which is pretty good. It's not actually a pretty good city, as you can tell by the color of this water. But basically, the twist happens that they basically betray you. Oh, yes. I'm gonna be this fish for a little bit, which is actually pretty... That's a pretty cool feature. Can I swim through... I can swim through this. I could get the whole way down here, actually. This is actually quite handy. So the twist happens, and I think that the twist, obviously, as most twists in games are, you know, they're probably intended for some sort of shock value, but I don't think that shock value actually happens in this game. I feel like... I don't know about everybody else. Can I stop being the fucking fish now? There we go. Those things are gonna murder me. Those are gonna murder the shit out of me. I need to really get out of this water. Good God. So the twist does not shock in any way. I really, really don't think it does. I feel like it's kind of an obvious twist. Especially seeing as soon as you walk into the room, everyone's like, "Good job, Corvo. You are our saviors. You are the... you are going to help us now, and you've done a really good job. I hope... Why don't you go to bed? Also, drink this poison. I mean, alcohol." And this, of course, I am speaking in this voice because the voice acting in this game is kind of suspect from almost everyone. There's rarely a good voice to be had, which is very strange because they've got a lot of actors. I think Carrie Fisher is in the game as well, but I couldn't tell which character she was. Maybe that's actually... Fuck, I've just decided... I don't actually have any weapons, which is a problem, so I'm actually going to just run right to this fucking door. I don't actually have any weapons or health. Yes, go outside. Right. Carrie Fisher's in the game. Chloë Grace Moretz is in the game, who's... I don't really like that girl, but she's supposed to be an actress. She plays Emily, and most of the voices are wooden. They're not really full of life at all. And I think that goes hand in hand also with some really awkward character animation, really clunky animation. Like, there's like this one guy called Havelock, who's the main betrayer in the game, I guess. He's sort of the leader of the resistance. And he essentially, like, looks awful. He walks like an... What was... He walks like... Oh, good God. I didn't even know they were... How did they follow me through the door? They must be able to do that. I didn't actually know that could happen. Shit. I need to go. So he's moves like a... He kind of walks a little bit like if the Hulk was a mannequin. Kind of puppet-ish. And I don't like the movement at all. I don't like the animation. I don't like the voice acting that much. And I feel like... you can obviously tell... Oh shit, no. That's not the one I want to do. This one. You can obviously tell it's kind of gothic. It's kind of Victorian-esque. That's sort of... I think the developers have actually said, yeah, this is modeled off Victorian London. Pretty much. It's set in the 1800s of a fictional universe. So it's kind of like that. But, everybody's American as well, which is really, really odd. Like, why is everyone American? If it's supposed to be a Victorian representation, why do they not have English actors? I feel like some of them are English. Some of the enemies are kind of bordering on English-ish, but at the same time, they're not fooling anybody, in my opinion. I don't think they're... Oh god, okay. I don't know why I don't have any weapons. I feel like I at least had some weapons at this point last time. Okay, there's the thing there. I just need to be really careful that those guys do not activate over there, because if they activate, then I will probably die, because I have no way to defend myself. So, yeah, voice acting is kind of wooden. It's dumb that they're English when they really shouldn't be English. Yeah, clunky character animations, which isn't very good either. So, all of that leads you to think that I didn't like the game, which was the case 3 years ago. I should say that this is also the definitive edition, which just came out on PS4 like a month-ish ago. Like end of August, I think. But I'm only playing it. Oh, holy god. That's a lot of rats. So I didn't... Can they get up the stairs? I think they can. I need to make sure I get away from those. Yeah. So I got the game when it came out and I didn't like it at all. I think it was just a bad time for games and that sort of thing. I think I had a lot more stuff to play than like the really good Assassin's Creed 3, which was really good. Wasn't that good. And the really good PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale, which wasn't really good either. So I played those games at that time and I sort of just wasn't feeling this, but I enjoy it a lot more now that I've played it again. I think the story itself, with the twist and everything, is kind of bad. Like, I think the story is like the personal story, which is the reinstatement of the young girl into a position of power again, is kind of simplistic. It's kind of ordinary, I guess. I don't know. I don't feel like it did anything special. Like, other than that one twist, there was essentially like no nuance to the story. It was just like, okay, this guy is a killer. He's killing people so that he can put the girl in power. The girl ends up in power at the end. Like, there's no sort of deep-seated like issue at hand here. It's literally just that, which I think is a bit too simplistic for the entire thing. But I think, having said that, the overarching story of the game, which is that there is a lot of corruption in the government, there is a plague which is sweeping the city, which was once the greatest city in all of the land. I don't know what the land is called, I can't remember, but I think it's something fantasy-esque. And yeah, I think the idea of that it's a plague-ridden city is really interesting, and I think the mixing of gameplay along with... let's throw this body away. I don't really want this body to be here. Let's see if the body can climb the chain. Oh no, he's fallen in the water. Oh no. Disaster. So I think... what was I saying? Oh yeah, the mixing of gameplay with that sort of lore of the city is really interesting. So the fact that if you are an asshole, like I am, because I'm not very good at the game and I'm killing hundreds of people all the time, like as you've seen, I've killed everyone that I've come across so far, then there will be more bodies, then there will be more rats, and then they will get infected. Do I have any... I only have the knife to break this down. That there will be more bodies, and then there'll be more zombie-like things called weepers, which are a more difficult enemy. You've seen the zombie-like things, actually. We've fought... No, not fought. We ran away from a load of those earlier. But, yeah. So you'll be doing that if you kill a lot of people, whereas I don't actually know what would happen if you didn't kill a lot of people. I would just assume that there would be less of those zombies, there'd be less rats around. So it's an interesting sort of thing that you're causing all of this destruction to the city as you go along, which is kind of an interesting idea. You know, it definitely makes up for the lackluster personal story between these characters. What is that thing down there? Are they just fish? Oh, those are rats? Okay. The rats seem to have taken on a form of fish-like qualities down there. They're definitely organized in some way. I don't really trust those rats, and I think that the rats are an interesting idea as well. I don't think that, apart from general sort of zombie things... Oh shit, I don't have any weapons to deal with the zombies down here. But, oh god, you're one. That was very lucky. Apart from zombies in general, I don't know, like The Walking Dead or the Call of Duties, you know, they have the zombies in them. I don't think any other games really deal with, like, illness and plague that often. Like, it's kind of a novel idea. And the fact that the rats are everywhere, like, they're literally everywhere. They're in everyone's homes. They're down there, probably. They're outside looking like fish. They're maybe in the books. Are they in? No, there's no rat in the book. But it's nice that contextual information has been used in terms of the gameplay. So if you're running around playing it sort of as an action game, you're going to have more dead bodies and more rats. But if you're playing it as it's kind of intended to be a stealth game, then you're probably not going to be killing as many people. You're going around less carelessly, you know, and you'll benefit from that. It's nice that there's a positive attribute for playing in stealthy ways. And if you're treating it more combat heavy, I guess the benefit there is that you're getting more items and loot, and you can take ammo or money off the dead bodies, or you can get through areas more easily if you're not stealthing around, which is, you know, so it's good on both sides. So stealth and combat are both thoroughly encouraged, which I like, because I would hate it if stealth was the only option, and I hopefully can kill these zombies with this thing. Oh, I killed one. Hopefully I can do it again. Hopefully would you like to come over here? So yeah, those are pretty positive things that I would say. Even though I started off talking about how shit the game is not actually bad. I maybe should have started on a more positive note, but it's gonna finish strong. So apart from all that crap that I mentioned in the beginning, the story's just sort of there, I guess. As I said, it's not that interesting. It's sort of just plain and simplistic, which is not that enjoyable, to be honest. That's just sort of how I find it, and coupled with the crappy characters, that sort of thing. Also, speaking of crappy characters, segue, or Scotway, I guess, if you want to include myself in that phrase. I could... Are we high up? No, we're not high up. I'm gonna go to the very top, and we're gonna get out. Oh shit. Oh shit. Can we get on this chain? There we go. Speaking crappy characters, as I said, the protagonist, Corvo, who is the Lord Protector of the Empress, which he didn't do a very good job of that because he was assassinated right in front of him. First of all, he's not very good at his job. Second of all, he has no voice, which is really odd at times. It's really odd that characters in like really specific emotional moments, such as when the Empress dies and he's holding her dying body in his arms and she's telling him, like, look after my daughter, Corvo, look after my daughter for me, please. Corvo, I love you, or whatever the hell she said. She said something like, I love you. It probably wasn't I love you. I don't know, she was emotional anyway, and it was a touching scene, and she died. Or the scene where Corvo meets Emily. Where does he meet her? Oh, he takes her from the brothel place. Oh goodness, hello there. How you doing? Oh, you died. You're actually dead. I can't pick you up. You're dead now. All right, let's carry him around. It's fun carrying bodies around. I enjoy this. We could feed the body to rats if they were here, and the rats would then eat his corpse, and he would be reduced to the sort of skeleton thing. But there are no rats here, which is unfortunate. I'm gonna take your letter anyway. I know what it says. You were. Oh, that's quite good. I'll cut your face. Somehow blood comes out of a mask. Doesn't make any sense. What was I saying? Oh yeah, the part where he gets Emily back, you know, it should be a joyous occasion. Corvo should be emotional. He should be happy. I don't even think he like hugs her or anything. I think he meets Emily, and then she's like, "Okay, Corvo, I am just going to leave now." And then she walks away in the wooden voice that Chloë Grace Moretz has given her, the emotionless girl that she is. And Corvo doesn't speak at all, which is just really strange. I don't know why Corvo wouldn't be speaking. It just feels kind of outdated in a way. It feels like even I know this game came out in 2012 originally, but even for a 2012 game, you think that they would have given, oh my goodness, what the hell are you doing? You think they would have at least given some sort of thought to oh god, I hate them so much. I hate those things so much, right? I think they would have at least given a little bit of thought to, you know, giving the character more personality. But there is a sequel coming out, which is coming out next year probably, I would assume. So hopefully they will fix that by then and actually give him a voice, though I don't think that's confirmed as of yet. So maybe he won't have a voice again. But it's just kind of disconcerting. It's not very entertaining to have... Okay. They're wearing, I didn't know that they were oiler, whatever masks. That's pretty interesting. What's this guy got on? Yeah, this thing had coins on it for some reason. That's a bit weird. So yeah, hopefully if they give him give him a voice, that might make it a little bit more interesting, because it kind of took you out of the experience a little bit. It's sort of like, I remember in Homefront, your character was like stranded from the rest of his group. Yeah, Homefront. Yeah, is that the right game? Yeah, it is. And they're like, "Are you okay, Gary?" or whatever. "Are you okay?" And he's clearly okay. He clearly has a radio that works. But he cannot speak, so he's not telling them that he's okay, which is just really, it's actually utter crap, or utter shit. If you want to be a proper man, you don't want to swear like a little 4-year-old boy. So anyway, that's essentially what I think of the word crap and of Corvo's. How the shit do I get out here? Okay. God damn it. See if I fall down again. I'm gonna be annoyed. Okay, can I actually get out of here this way? I think I can. Please don't be like a giant drop. That was very close. That could have been bad. Where am I? Wish I had more bullets. It's really dumb. The game does not save your progress, which I think is rather foolish. So I finished the game and none of my upgrades on these things are here. I had like almost everything, but they're not here, of course, because why would they be here when I wanted to play the game again? I think they would let you do that, but nah. Okay, that's another knock off it. But the game's good. Let's stick with the game being good. I really like, let's get back into positive things. I really like the aesthetic of the game. I think that the painted sort of art style can get, there's a rat, see there's tons of rats around this place. The painted art style can get a little bit muddy at times, I think. Like, for example, if you go kind of close to things, like it can kind of lose its, well, this is a bad example maybe because it's in the dark, but if you get up to larger surfaces, they look kind of crappy, but I think that's another thing to do with it coming out 3-ish years ago, so I think I can let that slide. But I think Apart from the character models, I don't like how they're so chunky. I think that the environments are suitably atmospheric for a game that is already pretty atmospheric. Like everything just feels really smutty and dirty and filled with disease. There's rubbish in the corners. There's dead bodies and stacks of like blankets where the bodies would have been, but they've probably been thrown into rivers. And I think at one point we might actually see it if I get to that point, but later on in this level you see like a massive train carriage coming along, and then it just empties like fuck. Okay, right, I was gonna say, where the god is that key, because I had no idea. So yeah, there's like a train that comes along and pours bodies into a river, and they're all covered in bloody rags and everything. So everything is really... Is this a window? Oh my god. Fuck. Right. How did I get in here? Up there? Alright. So, yeah, everything's suitably atmospheric, and I think that you go to like multiple areas in the game. So there's this area, which is the flooded district, which is the most poor area of the city, where the disease has somewhat been quarantined to, I guess. There's less disease and there's more control in the other areas, whereas this area is really fucked, to be honest. And then there's I can't remember what they call it, but there's like a really lavish district with lots of nice houses, and then you go to like a fancy dress party there, and then there's an area with some nice what's that place? Oh yeah, I mentioned it before, the brothel that is there. They call it a bathhouse, but it's clearly a brothel. There's some moaning going on in that place, and other than that, I really like the sort of Nazi-esque decor. Not deco. I think there's a thing, yeah, Art Deco is a genre of art or architecture, but then there's decor, which is, yes, decor is the actual word that I mean. So there's a really nice Nazi theme going on with this organization who, I don't think I killed any of those guys. I think the guys that I'm killing are the assassins at the moment, but there is an organization which is trying to use their corrupting influence to control the empire, and I think, what are they called? I wonder if I can find the note. Well, anyway, it's like a religious organization that is against, it's against sort of spiritual, or I guess what they'd call equivocative organizations. So like this heart is part of a cult that is controlled by the outsider, who is a sort of spiritual, almost deity-ish being that lives in like another plane of existence, I guess. Come on, I'm gonna probably die here actually. I don't have much health. Well, I have a lot of these actually, but I don't want to waste them because there's a battle coming up which is going to be hard, and I'm not really paying attention right now to what I'm doing, which is why I'm getting my ass kicked. I wonder if I can... I don't think they can get me in here. So yeah, the organization is kind of like the Christian church against witchcraft in like the 1600s, but their whole reasoning behind it is they're an industrial nation now, so they really shouldn't be tampering in like sort of anything that would be construed as witchcraft or devil worship, that sort of thing. So they feel like they should be more advanced than that cult is, what that cult is doing, which is kind of interesting. And their whole aesthetic is kind of focused around Nazism, I guess. Like their black uniforms with touches of red on them, and as well as that they have a similar sort of architecture in their buildings. Like it's very much clean and efficient, and that's not really stereotyping Nazis. I guess they were in a way clean and efficient. I guess that's one thing that is positive about those fine people. I also called them fine there, which is maybe not the best thing to call Nazis, but I did it anyway. And yeah, they have large concrete buildings which are very regal, and there are lots of open spaces for them to walk around in and feel really high and mighty about their position in life. So yeah, I think that's an interesting conception for these guys. And also if they oh goodness, I did not kill one guy. Yeah, I didn't kill that one. Wonder if I can... Yeah, you're dead. You're dead. So it's kind of ironic that they're against spiritualism and that sort of thing, and they're in fact calling themselves a religion, which is kind of contrary to their ideology, which I kind of like, because Nazis were a little bit fucked up as well, which is very befitting both of those cultures. Oh dear, my head is itchy. I'm scratching it. Okay. So there's some more rats down there. You can see how kind of desolate this... Okay, there's items there which I could use. You can see how desolate this place is. This is definitely the worst area, but most of the places are somehow broken down, full of dead bodies, their houses boarded up. And so yeah, there's just a real feeling of despair, which kind of goes hand in hand. If we're talking about allusions to Nazism, there are also, obviously, as I said before, allusions to Victorian London and the style of architecture. You know, it's very industrial. There's chimneys and brick facades on buildings, and there's a lot of steampunk elements to it, which is obviously a fictionalized version of what Victorian society would have been like. But I could slow down time, or I could just throw this grenade, actually. I don't think that killed either of them, did it? No, didn't. Fuck. What a bad mistake to make. It's really hard to concentrate on this game while I'm talking. Are you dead? You think you're dead? I think there are only 4 guys, so there's just you left. There is a boss battle coming up, and it's actually not difficult, but it takes a lot of bullets and health, which I'm not looking forward to because I'm not really paying attention to what's going on. So yeah, the Victorian aspect I really, really like. I think that it captures it kind of perfectly in a way. Yeah, I like the steampunk aspect of it as well. I think it's one that seems to be in vogue at the minute. You know, obviously this is being re-released because the second game is coming out next year. But I feel like Gothicism and the Victorians especially are kind of... Not the Victorian culture or literature or fiction or whatever you want to call it has really gone away. But I think this year in gaming, especially, Victorian seems to be in with this and Bloodborne and The Order 1886. And Assassin's Creed Syndicate is another one which is coming up, and then there'll be a novelization of that, I'm sure, and then the sequel of this will be coming out next year. And yeah, I don't know why, I think there seems to be a real fascination with the Victorians. I think it's a pretty interesting time period, and I think they've captured its... Oh god, okay, fuck. Ah, you motherfucker. I didn't know he was gonna be there. I think when I went up there last time, I went in through that window, so I would not have met that young man. Okay. You got anything on you? Nothing. Let's, throw your body away. So this part, obviously, I'm playing quite heavy on the combat, I guess. But it's nice that there's so many options, like, I can't remember if there's a trophy for this, but there's an option here. We're going to go in and we're going to fight, I guess, I don't want to say primary antagonist, but one of the antagonists for this section anyway, and what he wants you to, what the game wants you to do is either go in and fight him and all his guys, or you can slow down time and then head in there and steal his key and then leave, and then he will be like, oh my god, your character's a badass, I don't want to fight him, he'll kill us all, which is a pretty, I don't know, there's a real contrast in the way that you can actually deal with these guys, and I'm probably going to die because I really don't, I'm going to save the game here and then hopefully I can make it back. So there's a real variation in the gameplay, which is really nice. I talked about on the last episode Metal Gear Solid 5 having a huge variety of ways to deal with different situations. There's not quite as many here, obviously, because this is a more linear game, but there's definitely a lot of choice. You know, I have a lot of weapons here, I have a lot of special abilities. I could bring in rats, which could attack the guys in there. I could slow down time. I could possess a rat or a person and use them to attack the other guy. I could use all these weapons, which is pretty awesome. And I could pretty much, well, I guess there's only really one entrance into this place. You know, we're going to slow time, and I'm going to head in there. Yeah, you've got a really good voice there when it's all slow. Oh god, I think he disappeared, did he? Okay, well I killed you in one hit, which is nice. At least he's slowing down the time. Michael Madsen, actually. I said that the voice actors aren't very good. Michael Madsen is not in this game very much because he's just playing this one character that we're meeting in this mission. We meet him in the very first mission, but he doesn't say anything, as far as I know. But he's not actually that bad. He plays a pretty brooding character pretty well. He plays dark well. He's like that in his films as well. If you've seen, not Pulp Fiction, Reservoir Dogs or Kill Bill or... He's in The Walking Dead Season 2 as well as the character he plays... What's his name? Carver? Yeah. He plays that character as well. He's pretty awesome in that too. So I think he plays the killer well. I would say that about him. So he's maybe the best performance. And this is the definitive edition, so the DLC is also included. And as far as I know, you play as him in the DLC. I haven't actually got around to it yet. I'll probably start it after I record this. So it'll be interesting to play as that guy, and it'll be also interesting to see if... Did he die? Why was that so quick? I did this yesterday. Oh my goodness. I did this yesterday and it took probably 10 minutes. Maybe it was because I used the grenade at the start. Maybe. I don't think I used a grenade yesterday. Actually, I don't think I slowed down time at all. I think I just went in and attacked him. I wish I could be more stealthy to show you how the game is played through stealth, because that would be actually quite... That would be quite nice. Okay, grab his key, and we'll head out. So, we can listen to him. I think I spared him on my original playthrough, but I think we'll just kill him here. Yeah, you're gonna ask for your life, but I'm actually gonna kill you. So I guess getting back into the atmospheric side of things, I think there's a real... Oh shit, sorry, I didn't mean to do that there. There's a real creepiness to the game as well, which I like a lot. I think the creepiness is good. I think that it's not too scary, but I think that a lot of stealth games, including Metal Gear Solid and like, I know Far Cry isn't a stealth game, but it's, you know, bordering on stealth with its gameplay. But I think that a lot of stealth games get a little bit carried away with making you powerful. I think Metal Gear Solid, like, I played over 70 hours of that game, and like, maybe halfway through, I was just set for the rest of the game. Like, I had all the weapons that I wanted, I had the buddies that I wanted, I had all of my items and things like that. I didn't really change my setup that much. Like, I could honestly do any mission without a problem. Whereas I think this one, I feel thoroughly vulnerable all the time. You know, I'm not necessarily punished for fucking up on my stealth, but at the same time, I feel like I'm creeped out by a lot of things. I'm creeped out by the rats. Like you saw me before, I was freaking out because there were so many rats there, because those rats would mess you up if you got in their way. So, yeah, I think that that's good too. I think that it fits in really well with the aesthetic and the design of the city, you know. I think that those are pretty awesome ways of portraying a dying, distraught, destructive city. That was a lot of D's there. We're going to see some things that aren't D's, but are in fact bodies. So, I think we're actually going to wrap it up here. So, this has been the SpoilerCast episode 5, and some bodies have just poured in from a train, and off it goes. And I guess we're going to leave it here. Thank you very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed this. You can subscribe. You can kill some rats at home and send me the best photos of rats that are dead. You can... Don't stab dead women or men. I can't tell what this is. But, have a good day, and I'll see you later.